this is the calendar tab in Inquiry Max, so the calendar tab just here. And this is basically how you use the calendar tab to move your customers forward. So we're just going to talk you through the screen. So up here at top left, if you click onto that, it'll open a calendar for you to actually have a look at different dates, etc. You can change the view as well from a daily, weekly or monthly view, which is actually really useful if you want to see what appointments you've got coming up for the forthcoming days, instead of having to use the arrow to click forwards. You can also narrow that search down to say, well, I'd just like to look at my test drives and showroom appointments, for instance, and then click go, and it will remove any internet, email or telephone appointments from the calendar and just show you your face-to-face appointments. By hovering over, you can get more detail as well about each customer. Okay. Then we have the personal appointment section. So you've got a single appointment, or you can have this enabled, so it's not standard on Inquiry Max, but if you would like to be able to do a reoccurring appointment, then please speak to your account manager or email support and we can switch that on for you. So this is if you have any time off for a meeting or doctors or annual leave, etc. You can book your single appointment, or if you have the same day off every single week, you could say, well, it's annual leave weekly on a specific day. Okay. You can manage the appointment if you want to change it as well. So if you want to amend it, it's quite simple to move it around. Let's just close that, go back to today and look at all of our activity. Okay, so you can see here that we've got customers' details. So by hovering over it, we get some notes, etc. We can see what they're interested in buying, what their part exchange is, if there's been one loaded, etc. So let's see if we can find one with a part exchange. So there's one with a 5 Series is the vehicle of purchase, and then a Volvo S90 is the part exchange. If you see an envelope here, it's because the customer has an email address and they've the envelope isn't crossed out, so it means they've opted into marketing. So if we click onto that, we can actually use the templates in here. If you don't have any templates, then it's basically because no one with manager's access or above has added any templates to your system. So if you'd like any templates in there, then have a chat with your line manager and see if he can add them himself, or see if there's anyone above him that can access that. So with a customer here, Mr. Beatty, so if we want to move him forwards, we tick the done box. Did I speak to the customer? I'll say yes. He hasn't had a test drive yet, so I'm going to put that he has booked his test drive for the weekend. Okay, so if I go have a look at, if I click onto Saturday, so that's the day that he'd like to come in for a test drive. So I can see that I've got something on at 8 o'clock on Saturday morning, a test drive already booked. So I'm just going to pop him in for Friday to give him a call. To give him a call to confirm the demo appointment for 12 PM Saturday. Okay, so once I've done that, I click save. That then moves that forwards, and I can see here that I've moved the appointment forwards to the 28th, and if I hover over, you can see why I've put it there. Then we also have an edit pencil as well. So the idea of the edit pencil is if you do not make a single attempt to phone a customer, then you could choose to edit it to a day when you're going to make that attempt. But we do recommend that if you pick up the phone at all during the day, you always tick the done box and maybe put, did you speak to the customer? No, he hasn't had a test drive, and I'll put left voicemail to ask for return call, something like that. Okay, and then I can move it forward, so I'm going to give him maybe another call tomorrow at let's try 5 o'clock. Let's try a little bit later in the day, see if we can get hold of him a bit later on. Okay, now if I don't pick up the phone to Kane Thomas because it's not a priority, I might have said to the customer I'll call him mid to end of the week, so that could be Wednesday, Thursday or Friday, and the customer's happy with that. I might go, okay, well, it wasn't important today, considering today is Wednesday, so I'll do it tomorrow. So I just click edit and I'll just move it to the following dates. You can see I've got a call at 3 and a call at 5. Let's say this customer normally likes to be contacted in the morning, so we'll give him a call about 10 o'clock. And you can see now Kane Thomas has disappeared from here, and if I move forward to tomorrow's diary, he's in there for a 10 o'clock call to discuss whatever it is I need to call him about. Okay, so generally, just going through that again, please do make sure you use the done box to move your customers forwards. If you don't make any attempt to speak with the customer, then please use the edit pencil and move it to the day when you're going to make the attempt. If it is a contact that's in the future, you can't tick done to it. So if you tick done, it says you cannot close an appointment scheduled for future date. So please edit the appointment and reschedule it for today. So what that means is we have to use the edit pencil, move it backwards into today's diary, and then tick done and move it to where we want to move it. Down the bottom here you have a legend, so you can see what each status point means, or each icon here as well, so where the telephone is. You can see exactly what each logo on the calendar means to you. Okay, and that's the end of the session on the calendar.